As you play Stardew Valley for a longer periods of time, you are bound to come across some peculiar moments in the game. By peculiar, I mostly mean by creepy or scary, like for example when you send your kids away and haunted flying dolls come back to haunt you, foreshadowing an ill fate. Or when you walk around the town and you see some dark shadows moving in the background, not knowing what that truly is. Well, today I wanted to share a story of a moment that happened on my farm concerning those very same shadows. So let's begin. It was a day like any other. I was playing on my main farm, where I was taking care of my animals, crops, and most importantly artisan equipment. I have already achieved 100% completion, but I never leave that farm alone, always trying to make improvements or change the layout to which suits me the best. On that farm I have an area that I've made into a small park with trees, which I get sap from, and it serves as a relaxation area most of the time. After a day of playing, by going around the town, visiting the dangerous mines for a bit, and also checking the saloon for a daily frustration of the Junimo card, I decided to go back slowly to my farm at around 9:20 PM. As I reached the entrance to the bus stop, I stopped and thought for a bit about the shadow guy that moves randomly on random occasions and thought to check to see if he appears. And on the first time, as I re-entered the town, he moved past the tree and disappeared. I felt happy for a moment, knowing that it appeared and made my way towards my farm. When I reached my farm though, something weird happened for a moment. I noticed towards the bottom part where my barns are that there was hardly any light there. But my whole farm is swarmed with lampposts, so there should be no darkness there. I wondered for a second as I made my way down there to check it out, thinking that maybe lightning had hit the lamppost or something like that. But there was no bad weather in a while, and just the other day everything was well lighted without any issues. As I reached my two silos near the barn, I noticed that it's not only the barn area that doesn't have any light, but the area next to the slime hutch and the entrance to the cindersap forest as well. I think to myself, there's no way thunder could have hit all of this perfectly. I stood for a minute just watching the area, finding it a bit weird, when, from a nearby tree, I saw a small shadow going towards the wooded area on my farm. I just thought like a shadow brute appeared on the farm and slowly made my way towards the wood like to kill it. What else though? But the thing is, after a few steps, it came to me that I didn't have the option for monsters appearing on your farm turned on for my main farm. Thinking about that, I just stopped in my tracks, and a lot of thoughts were racing towards my mind. What could it be? Some new secret event that was added to the game? Maybe somehow I turned on the option for monsters appearing on your farm. But as I am standing there dazed for a bit, trying to process everything that has happened so far, suddenly one of the lampposts that I had in the woods just disappears, leaving an area of darkness. At that moment I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And just head towards the mill on the upper side that is just right next to the woods. Staying there for a bit, just seeing the whole wooded area become dark, with the last two functioning lampposts being the ones near the mill. Suddenly, out of nowhere, I hear a thunder sound, like something got struck by lightning nearby, and flinch for a moment. And at the same time, I see one of the lampposts next to the mill just go dark. At that moment something came over me, a feeling of dread and anxiety rushed over me, and I just turned and started running towards the house. The moment I started running, I heard the sound of a meteorite crashing, but quite louder than the normal event that happens. At this point, I was beginning to think that I was going mad, thinking like, what is happening here? As I'm getting closer to the house, I start hearing a mix of thunder strikes and meteorites falling all around me, and towards the back, I could see the last lamppost that I passed just went dark, feeling like the darkness was trying to consume everything in the process. 1,000 thoughts were going through my head at this point. What kind of event is this? Should I just try and fight back against that thing? But as I'm thinking this, my sense of dread that something bad would happen if I'm ever reached by that thing increases. I know it's a game, but every bone in my body was saying to run. At that moment that I managed to reach the front entrance, I noticed that every other sound in the game was basically gone. Me walking in the wood, the nightly crickets and everything was completely silent, increasing my anxiety at the same time, but also feeling a sense of relief that I managed to reach the front door. Before entering the house, I noticed a slight blue light coming from the direction of the greenhouse. But I never stopped to check it out or think about that, seeing the darkness being an inch from me, where between us there was only one lamppost seemingly fighting against the darkness surrounding it. I clicked on the door and entered the house, where luckily I was greeted by light. For a moment I was relieved, and at the same time I ran towards the catalog to buy even more lamps and started to place them all around the house. For a moment everything seemed to stop. The noises, the music, everything. My anxiety started to rise again, getting goosebumps all over me in real life, thinking about everything I just experienced. I noticed that everyone was in bed in the house like normal, and I got the usual dialogue boxes when I interacted with them. At some moment, I heard something, a weird noise coming from the outside of the house. First, I heard the noise a robin makes when she's building something, but with a quicker pace, like something is hitting the outside of the house, followed by a strange noise like a wolf howling on the outside or someone growling. And with this I was done. I had enough, wondering about everything that was going on. I thought, let's go to bed, everything will be back to normal from the next day. But when I reached the bed, I couldn't. The prompt didn't appear at all. What's with this bug? What's happening? Sitting in my room all alone for the night, I got all sorts of thoughts passing through my head. Things that mainly happen in horror movies, and thinking about solutions. I go near the front door, and the sound just gets louder and louder the closer I get to the door. I took out a glow ring and had my weapon drawn, waiting to see what would happen. I got tempted to just quit the game, but I had a strange feeling inside me that it would be a really bad idea. As I was standing next to the door, waiting to see what would happen, I hear another quite loud noise, like when the rocks clear from the train station, followed by the noise from the strange capsule event, and everything suddenly stops. At that moment, I was thinking to go out the house, and as I was making a few steps towards there, I heard a dog bark in the house, which was already asleep. It seemed like it wanted to warn me about something, so I just stopped and quickly made my way towards the bed, where thankfully this time the prompt appeared, and I just went to bed. The saving screen this time took for a while, some good 2 to 3 minutes, where I was anxiously waiting for the new day. As the save screen disappeared and a brand new day appeared before me, I felt relieved, thinking that whatever it was all over. The moment I walked outside, everything was alright, normal as every other day. The music was back, the sound of the animals and nature were back, everything was normal. Everything but one thing. All of the lamp posts on the farm were gone, and some of the fences were all broken down, like a fight broke out on the farm. I quickly sprang into action, replacing every lamp post everywhere, adding even torches on the fences for more light. But as I was making my way towards the greenhouse, I noticed that the shrine was enveloped by some strange blue hue, and when interacting with it, I didn't get a prompt or anything. The other thing that I noticed was that 2 out of my 4 wicked statues that I had placed around my farm were gone, while on the 2 that were left, their eyes were glowing red like the witch would appear any moment. All of these moments were quite unsettling. It was like Grandpa helped you out on the farm in tow with the wicked statues, and I felt a bit better knowing that, to be honest. Overall, I took a short break from the game after that. Everything was quite new, and no matter how much I searched on the internet, I didn't see anything similar to my experience. Everything I experienced took me back to the moment I saw the shadow for the first time in the town, thinking that it may have been a trigger for all of this, but I don't know, and I hope I don't find out again. But everyone, I hope you enjoyed my short Stardew Valley horror story. For me, it's the first time I'm telling something like this, so I would really want to hear your feedback about these types of videos. And would you like to hear more stories like this? And don't worry, everything is made up, so don't worry if you see the shadow on the farm, basically. But everyone, thank you for watching, and if you found it interesting, consider leaving it a like since it helps me out a lot. And also, if you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel so you get notified of all of my future updates. I hope you will have a great day, and I will see you all in my next one. But till then, stay safe.